week here at the sanctuary, especially with saying goodbye to a long time resident, serval Nunda. And so it's always hard, even though we expect it at 23, you just don't ever expect it's the day it's going to be. But I'm so grateful that she had so many years here, that she lived to a ripe old age, and that she didn't decline where we had to make the decision. I know a lot of people are asking how Phoenix is doing, and Phoenix is doing really well. We're kind of reassessing if he's going to stay where he's at, if he's going to move somewhere else. Kind of as we talked is that he was really bonded with Nunda, and they were living with Ava and the Peppers, but they're not bonded to the Peppers, and so he might in his old age want some quiet time. So we'll keep everybody posted. I was kind of said in my memorial, but one of the things I remember most about Nunda is she's just this little peanut of a girl. I mean, I remember when she came in and we did the intake exam, and she was like 14 pounds. That's like the smallest African serval I've ever seen, but it always made her so adorable. And even though she was so dainty, she was strong-spirited. She would let out that hiss if humans got too close, and she always would check out, especially in early years, you know, different later in life, but she would always be the first to check out enrichment. And this one day, I had it in my memorial, but trout were given, and these were huge trout from an aquarium that had to cull their tanks. And so we gave them out to the serval. Of course, it was humanely. The fish were not alive anymore. But she picked up this trout and put it in her mouth like this, to the point she couldn't see, and she's walking around with it. All the other servals were trying to grab the trout from her, and so she'd set it down wondering why she couldn't see, and she'd pick it back up again and walk around with it. And you know, it's one of those that when you lose them too soon, your heart breaks, and then you think it's going to be easier because they've lived a long life. And I wouldn't say it's easier, but it is different. We know they can't live forever. We just wish they would live longer always, right? So thank you guys for sending your love. Thank you to her sponsor parents, and everybody who bought her plaque and rock. Thank you for allowing us to give her the life she deserved for so many years. So today, instead of going into the traditional weekly wrap-up, I wanted to find some happiness and for all of us. So I'm going to share some happiness with you guys. As you know, that we've been doing moves and mergers, and Kim and Carl moved to the big habitat over in Woodlands, and so we have put Leo and Alyssa back to each other. And I know if you are Alyssa's sponsor, you should have gotten an update to check your email, or you will shortly. But because I thought we all deserve some happy news, I want to show you how Alyssa is doing over here, and hopefully everything stays really well. So Alyssa has moved, hi sweetheart, has moved over here to Roar Ridge. And you remember Alyssa has been healing. She has a degenerative spinal issue it was a mass between two vertebrae, and the vertebrae are very thin in nature. So she's been on a lot of pain management, and she has been in a smaller area, but she cannot live with Leo anymore. Let's see, because I can tell you exactly where Leo is. Leo is sitting right by here on a shared wall, so happy that Alyssa is back. And so this morning there's video of them laying against the fence together, but because of her degenerative spinal disease, they cannot be together again, but a shared wall is making them just as happy. And we had to take out most of the platforms, and we lowered them for her. The cave structure, the veterinarian said, since she's living alone and she's appropriately going up and down the steps, that we should be okay with the cave in there for her, and you can see she loves it. And so it's really hard when we're doing critical care for big cats, because you don't want to confine them, but you can't put your hands on them every day like you do the small cats. So she was in a smaller holding yard getting a lot of enrichment, but it paid off. When we did x-rays, moving her here the other day and did x-rays and radiographs, that spine is looking much better, and the Dr. Camper's like, it shouldn't be. There shouldn't be a change, but we are seeing a positive change. So that doesn't mean she can heal, but it means her degeneration is not moving as quickly as it was. It was to the point she couldn't walk before, and now she's walking pretty well. She does have some toe drags and trips on occasion. And so, you know, we're just being very, very careful, but we'll go over and see Leo. But Leo is definitely sitting there waiting for his girl to come spend some time at the fence. So I am going to walk over and see Leo, and then Dash is behind there too. So let's hopefully we keep our service. But that's what I thought today would be better than a weekly wrap up. It's always hard when we have to say so many goodbyes, and this year, you know we'll see more. We have some cats in critical care, we have some cats that are senior, and so it's time to embrace the happy moments that we get, because we could have been saying goodbye to Alyssa as well, and luckily she's giving us more time. And there's Leo. Leo's probably not going to come see us. He's going to instead stay as close to his lady friend as he can. But it's really great to see Kim and Carl in that huge open space now. And this is much better suited. We had to remember we were taking all of these walls down to make one big habitat. And then Mango was going to go here. And all of that had to change plans when we wanted Leo and Alyssa back, and we wanted Kim and Carl in a bigger space. So the staff redid putting up a holding yard for Alyssa, because Alyssa does not like to shift in the building. So they redid all the work they had just undone just for Alyssa and Leo. And that's why our staff is so amazing. And because you guys give us donations and support, they can do that customized change every time an animal needs it. We are always bobbing and weaving for this. Now what's going on here? I don't think it's appropriate to stalk me, silly man. I'm kidding. Come on, Dasharoo. Come on, Dasharoo. And Dash has been doing good with this neighbor. Hi, handsome. So if you're just joining us, this is kind of a different weekly wrap up. We're here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. You know, we had to say goodbye to one of our older, beautiful, precious souls, Nunda. And actually, she said goodbye to us. She left on her own terms, which is doesn't often happen at a sanctuary. We usually, just like your pets, have to intervene. Dash, you're going to leave me for the food truck? And so I thought it would be better to come out and do some happy moments. Today, Phoenix, her counterpart, is out in the sun with Ava and the Peppers, but Hal's a little much for him. Leo might start roaring. Leo got up to see what the caretakers are doing. And even Alyssa got down, so we'll go see if Alyssa's out. So I just thought it's time for us to do some happy things today. I don't know if Alyssa went inside, but if not, we can see how she's doing. And we are starting to winterize for winter. They're putting in the heated water buckets. And we had media out today. Maybe Alyssa did go in. That's amazing. We had media out today to cover Lucifer's story, who we call Louie now. Yep, she did get locked in for feeding and cleaning, so we'll move on. But we're so thankful that media is covering Louie's story, just so that we can educate more people that these roadside zoos are not putting animal welfare first. And so let's go see some more cats today. So I'm kind of going to do a sanctuary stroll, just so from some happiness. And maybe we'll go see if Louie's still out. We're going by our memorial garden. But so media was out seeing Louie. We got some great coverage. We're so grateful for that. We even said some Oregon news picked up Lucifer's story, and so it looks like they're in the habitat. Every time I try to see an animal, it looks like they're in the habitat, but I'm going to talk because they're taking down shade cloths, so we'll see some winterizing. And then we were talking about Kim and Carl earlier, and Kim and Carl are now in the big yard over here in Woodlands, and they're very interested in always watching their neighbors. He is always fixated on every other cat at the facility, which is funny. But when the media was here, since they were winterizing, they were taking down the shade cloths and they added the blue heated water bucket. And guess what Lucifer decided was his new toy? That heated water bucket. So we're going to have to probably tiger-proof it for the Jaguar. Did he leave it alone, or are you going to have to tiger-proof Louie's? You tiger-proofed. So I know the internet's going out, but it sounded like they do have to tiger-proof Louie's water service. Let's try and get somewhere we have service, since everywhere I go we're losing service. So we're gonna go over and see maybe Nunda. And then we can all Cattail Creek. We obviously need some grass growing in here, but they have a bunch of skywalks going to be going in. The electrician was out today to put electric and heat to the building. So it's amazing that we're going to have a cat being able to move in there shortly. And you guys, I think because I came out late, we're going to have to just spend some alone time here with beautiful Thor, because a lot of the cats are shifted for cleaning and closing the pools for the season. Hi, beautiful. I love seeing the cats nap. It's one of my most favorite things, when they are just calm and relaxed and have no worries. And that's Thor right here. I also want to say thank you to everybody for always feeling the loss with us and being so supportive. It's, can be a wave of losses and then a wave of new residents, like when we look at Oregon and Canada. So as we've talked about before, it's a roller coaster of emotion, but it's really important for all of us, including you, to come out here and get to see those peaceful moments. The reason why we all do this together, why we do it every day, even with the heartache, even with sometimes trying to close these substandard facilities down, that it takes years. When it does happen, it makes that fight all worth it. And I love just these zoom in quiet moments. I know you have a little bit of wind and a few flies still bugging you, but enjoy it, Thor, because fly and bug season is almost over and snow will be here in no time. So when we had the media out today, we were talking a little bit about what makes accredited sanctuaries different. And it's more than just that we don't buy, breed, trade, or sell. It's more than those sanctuaries that are open to the public, only do guided tours and allow the animals to get off display. It's about this. It's about spending every moment doing something selfless, something for the cats. When I walked around today, seeing Bentley with his bloodsickles, seeing Louie with tuna all over his skywalks, having them rebuild what we just tore down so that Alyssa and Leo can live next to each other. It's so much more than what's on paper. It's about that selfless love that each caretaker and intern and each staff member and all of you help us provide that we're here for the cats, and each day is about what they need, not our needs. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And even though there will always those that pass on to the Rainbow Bridge and to their forever wildlife, we know that those moments that they're here really matter, and that you guys enable us to create moments like this for Thor. Well, I think I'm going to make this short today and sign off and let Thor finish his beautiful nap in the sun. And again, thank you guys for supporting our work, being part of our work, and being just as special to us as every cat that is called the Wildcat Sanctuary home.